Good Monday evening. We are live here on BCP Live. Were you looking out for us? Were you waiting for us? Because we're here. I'm glad that I am honestly glad that we're here tonight. It seems like it's been a long time. I'm checking my other monitor to make sure everything's all right there. Bryan Cooper is already in the house. So Bryan, man, I'm glad that you're along. You left fishing to come watch? Man, that's really pretty cool. Mrs. Patriots in the house. Foo in the house. LaRonda, Eric in the house. Dottie, Michelle in the house. All figuratively because, it'd get crowded around here. And you know who else is in the house right now? Susan Edelen is in the house right now. And
Hey
Susan,
guys.
it is an absolute privilege to get to visit with you. Now, if you'll notice, I left Rodeo Week down at the bottom of the screen for one additional day because we have the person who is in charge of the Durant Riding Club and therefore the Durant Riding Club Pro Rodeo. And we'll get to all that. A couple more shout outs. Hi, Janice. Glad you're here. Hi, Jorge. Glad that you are waving as well. Good to see you tonight. Susan, it was a successful week of rodeo. Is that correct?
I agree. Yes, I do. It was the 79th Durant Rodeo.
Wow, that is just cool. Well, I went on Saturday night. I know I had a chance to visit with you, visit with Jeff and Aaron, and I saw Eric there as well. Eric Loftus there. Of course, he's going to be there. Got to wave at West Huggins while he was doing his job because he was just talking nonstop, and I sure didn't want to disrupt that groove at all. But listen, tell us about the rodeo. Tell us what you thought looking in on all of it right now.
Oh, I thought it was a wonderful rodeo. It was 3 days. We had one night of slack that lasted till nearly 6 in the morning, Friday morning. We had over 400 contestants that day. We really had 670 that signed up for the rodeo. So we had to run the slack. And like I said, it ran till 6 o'clock in the Friday morning. So they all went home exhausted. They slept a little bit. They got up, got out to the arena Friday, probably midday after lunch, after breakfast and noon breakfast, and got it set up again. And ready to go.
It really was a good day. By the way, there's some guy named Jeff Edelen who was saying it's about time we got on the air. So
he probably knows I had computer problems.
That's all right. Yeah, Bryan says 6 a.m. Yes, Bryan, 6 a.m. Slack went from 7 p.m. on Thursday to 6 a.m. And I can tell you that I was not there. I was sleeping through most of that time, or at least part of that time. I was probably up writing some kind of story about sports somewhere. But listen, it was great. Of course, Friday night, now I will tell you, the last time that you saw us here on BCP Live, I said I was going on Friday. And long day of Friday, and by the time 6:45 rolled around and I saw lightning in the west, I decided that the other Mrs. Patriot and the Little Patriots and I were all going to wait a day, even though I heard that Friday again was a very good day.
Yes, we had a great crowd that came in. It started raining just a little bit after our flag girls started, and it rained, and I was kind of having my fingers crossed, hoping it wouldn't, but we had 2 inches of rain Friday in Durant. So we lost a lot of our spectators, but the rodeo goes on. Cowboys come, they stay, they're troopers, they're professionals, and they did it Friday night in the rain.
We saw I thought the performance on Saturday was fantastic. As always, I enjoy the opening ceremonies each night. They come in, they announce all the sponsors. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about those sponsors here in just a moment because that's a big deal, and that's the reason why we get to have some nice things every now and again, because these great sponsors. But they announce the sponsors. They bring in, they have the invocation, which is always fantastic. They have the national anthem, all the good things I think that represent our country well and make it great. And then the performances were just fantastic throughout Saturday. It was a great night to watch. And Susan, if you have the opportunity.
It was. And West Huggins, our announcer, he's been with us 3 years. He has. Do what?
Sorry, I think there's a little bit of delay here, Susan. That's
Where's my sound?
That's okay. There's a bit of a delay here. Go ahead. West has been here for 3 years.
He's been here for 3 years. He has helped us build up this rodeo. Wonderful suggestions that we follow, and we just love him and his family, Carrie, who is the secretary, and his twin boys, Trevor and Walker, which help him out with the sound and the videos. They're just a great family to know from Midland, Texas.
I'm going to give you a chance now, and it's funny that there would possibly be a delay considering how close we actually live from, well, how, you know, we live pretty close together. Yeah, so it's amazing that there's a delay there, but go ahead and talk
Yes, we
about
do.
some of these announcers or these sponsors.
Okay, well, we have 3 major sponsors that have helped us for several years. Choctaw Casino and Resort. We have Discovered Durant, and then Eric Studeville at Studeville Chevrolet here in Durant. He has been a wonderful sponsor. He sponsors the big screen, which we have had. Now, this is the 3rd year for the big screen, and a lot of people didn't know that we had it. So I think some of them came out this year when they found out that we had the Omega Pro big screen out there, and they do a wonderful job.
I'll tell you what.
You know, you see the replays, they give the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, and that's very helpful too. And West has that down, has those replays down too, because you know he sees everything so well from where he's going, and he talked folks through the replays and let us see exactly where someone was about to hit the ground pretty hard. He talked us through, but the replays were fantastic.
Now, one thing I can say about West Huggins, he comes in on Monday before the rodeo, and the rodeo is not till Friday. So he researches all the contestants. He knows them. He does media work with us. He's out in the public with us. He is just a wonderful man, and we just love him. Like I said, he is the best.
He is fantastic, and it was great to get to watch that. Now, by the way, Susan, I know that it seemed like that the crowd was very, very good, and I had a chance to speak with Eric Loftus, who has a big part to play in all of this as well. Talk about the crowds on Friday night, even through the rain, and then, of course, Saturday night was big.
I think Friday night, that was one of our biggest Friday night crowds, and they hung with us for a long time. And I want to say thank you for the ones that got soaking wet. We even got to have the kiss cam because there were a few people left for the kiss cam. So, which was sponsored by Red River Ford. But Saturday night, you were there, Joey. It was packed full, and there was not a single soul. I mean, you couldn't stir them with a stick. And also, we ran out of tickets. We sold out of our tickets, which is a very first for several years that we have done. So anyway, it was a great rodeo. People came out and supported us. And it's a big job. And I do want to thank, if I can, recognize Eric Loftus. He has been our president for 2 years, and he and his family have stepped up. We've had a lot of volunteers come this year that had not been with us before, and we appreciate every one of them, from the snack bar, the ticket window, the parking, directing traffic, the arena help. I could go on, and I could name a ton of people, but they know who they are, and we just love them for their volunteerism.
Well, I know one of those volunteers was Jack Levi, and he's commented a couple of times, said it was an awesome crowd all 3 nights. With being totally wet Friday night, he said Saturday was the busiest for traffic and parking control. And, I remember days back even into the 80s, into the 90s, and being with a youth group that used to park cars. I remember when it would fill up, it was looking like that again. And of course, being in the crowd, it was fantastic. It really wasn't even that hot on Saturday night. By the time everything got going and all that, it was really just a good evening. And Jack pointed out, too, on Saturday night, this is how many people there were. They sold out of beer. So.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that, but they also sold out a Cowboy Punch.
Yeah.
And it's just the 3rd year we have done that.
Well,
so it's moving along too. Susan,
it was funny. It needed to be mentioned, too, that when this is something that's announced over the loudspeaker, folks, we've sold out of beer. It's just, I suppose that's a big night.
I know. Yeah, thank you, West, for announcing that.
Well, hi, Teresa. Appreciate you being here tonight. And Kathy, of course, Jack's in the house. LaKendra, if you're still watching, man, thank you for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate that, too. And one Jeff Shelburne in the house tonight. Saw Jeff out there riding that tractor and making sure that everything was smooth. Of course, through the mud, he was making sure there was a good path for those ladies that were doing the barrel racing.
Yeah. Jeff loves to help us with the arena, and Jory did a good job too helping him. So Jory Whitlock and Jeff, they were our tractor drivers for the rodeo. Great job they do.
I'm going to go ahead and put this comment up here because I think it warrants attention. Jancy says she's kind of fond of the drag man. So that guy that was dragging the dirt or the mud, as the case may be, out there on Saturday night. I think in the nights before too. Jeff, we think you do a fantastic job. So we really appreciate you. And Susan, one other thing too, before I let you go, and I want to say thanks, by the way, for being on with me tonight. I will list the winners here in just a moment, but also there was one injury on Saturday night, and over the course of the evening, we know that this young man had to be taken to Plano, was what I had heard. So do we have an update on him?
Yes, sir. His name is Brian Egan. He is from Calera. He was released Sunday, and he is home. He has some stitches in his face. I talked to a friend of his today, and she verified that. And so we send him prayers and best wishes, and, you know, Cowboy Tough, there he goes. He is a bull rider.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, there was one 8-second ride all night on Saturday night. So, I mean, those bulls were, well, they were raring and ready to go. Susan, thank you so much for taking time with us today, and I really appreciate it.
That
and
rider was
I congratulate you on a fantastic rodeo, a great weekend all around, and we are already looking forward to it next week, but we'll give you a little time to rest before then.
Can I say one thing about the Clydesdales?
Please do, yes.
The Express Clydesdale. Okay. I know some people might have been disappointed. Friday night, it was the rain that held them back. Saturday night, the arena dirt or mud, if you want to call it, was not safe for the horses. And so they decided, and the rodeo committee decided not to have them in the arena. But if you went to Steubenville that Saturday, they were there. They were on display. Hitch was there. It was a wonderful experience at Steubenville Saturday. So, and they want to come back. That was their first outing for the season also. So we'll work on it.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. And again,
and one more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Jeff just told me about that. I did not. I told you I didn't want to talk too long, but guess what? We had nearly $57,000. I know, laugh, Joey. We had nearly $57,000 in payout money to our contestants.
That's fantastic.
That was just posted. So anyway.
Well, listen, I appreciate.
Thank you for having me tonight.
And I'm sorry for the delay. I know there's nothing either one of us could do about that. But anyway, I want to say, while you're still actually in the little window right there, that I appreciate you. I know that you put a lot of work into this. I know that Jeff and Aaron put work into it. And there's so many people that do, but you are to be commended for what you do and all the effort that you and your entire committee and your group put into it. So thank you for putting on a great and a successful rodeo for Bryan County.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. And like you said, it takes the committee. We have a great committee behind us now, and I really appreciate them.
All right. This is Susan Edelen, and I'm going to let her go now. Susan, who is works with the Durant Riding Club. It's the Durant Riding Club Pro Rodeo, and of course the 79th edition of that. So that's just absolutely great. Jeff, Jory Whitlock, a huge part as well on the ground, and they everybody did a great job. Great job for that. All right, before I read the winners, let me go ahead and say thank you to a few of our sponsors tonight. I want to say thanks to Steubenville Chevrolet, one of our sponsors, who, by the way, held the meet and greet on Saturday. Susan was talking about there. I had a chance to go out and see the Clydesdales. Little Patriots were out there with me. Got to, touch the horse. Those big horses. And I'd like to post something about that later. It was nice to get to visit with the folks from Express. But anyway, nice to have the Clydesdales right here in Bryan County. Also, Abundant Life Texoma, Choctaw Nation, Durant Station, Greg Phillips Insurance, Indian Nation Wholesale, Jalapenos, People First Industries. Lakendra, if you're still watching, thank you very much. And Texoma Financial Services. I'll get to something about Texoma Financial Services in just a moment. And then Texoma Utility Equipment. So many more sponsors. We'll get to them over the course of the week. We could not do what we do at the Bryan County Patriot without the advertisers and the sponsors, and very grateful for them. Butch, thank you for watching tonight. Logan, glad you're in the house as well. And Brian, all right, Brian, next month, Caddo Rodeo. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit more then. That'll be fine. It's so nice to have Susan on. I know that was probably not something she necessarily wanted to do, but I'm glad that she came on. So that's really, really cool. All right. And Aaron missed it. Oh, my goodness. Aaron, man. We do have to have Aaron on sometime. Jeff, thanks for okay. Thank you. Jeff says, thanks for promoting the rodeo for all of us. Listen, it was a privilege and a pleasure on my part. Glad to get to do it. Glad to have something to get to do with it, because I'm really glad that it's right here in Bryan County. Let's talk about some winners then. This will be posted a little bit later on. The Bryan County Patriot. If we can get it tonight, we will. I got this a little earlier today from West and Kerry Huggins. Winners from the Durant Pro Rodeo, Justin Lewis had a score of 69 on the bareback. One was 69. Colton Onyet 79. Forgive me. Colton Onyet also had a 79. And so they split the top prize money there. In the saddle bronc, Sterling Crawley with a score of 83 on the night, and he won in that. Ranch bronc, Canyon Conley, 77, and so he took first place in that one. In the bulls, Rhett King with an 83 came away with the first place ride right there. Breakaway, Shay Schaefer, hope I pronounced that correctly. Shay Schaefer, a 2.45 time in the breakaway. So congratulations, big winner there. The tie down, Shane Hanchy with a 7.93 time. Team roping, it was Jake Clay and Martin Lucero, 4.50 time in the team roping. Champions on the night there. The barrels, Lindsay McLeod, 0.033. Lindsay McLeod, 16.033. She won by less than half a second there. Came away as the big winner on the night. And the junior barrels, Brinley Whitlock, a 17.005. And check this out, because this is, I don't know how often you see something like this. Brinley Whitlock, 17.005. Chesney Robinson in second, 17.010. So 5 thousandths of a second difference. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's in junior barrel racing. So I don't know how tough the competition is there. It may be pretty tough there as well. But congratulations to all the winners from the Durant Riding Club. Yes, Brian, I think it is time for a drink. And that's fun. And you know what? It actually, when I took the drink, it pulled the headphones out of my head, but I'm not talking to anyone else tonight. So that's fine. I may be just talking to me. That could be part of it. I could have stayed on a bull for 1/2 of 1/4 of 1/10 of 1 second. Maybe. I'm not even sure if I could have stayed on that long. Anyway, interesting number, and we do have some numbers tonight. Let's talk about this first. I have this to give away a little bit later on in the week. This is brought to you by Texoma Financial Services. Okay. Ronnie Walters, Texoma Financial Services, has this gift card to Opera House Coffee, otherwise known as my office. Okay, sometimes I office at home. Anyway, we have that to give away. And this is what I'd like you to do. We're going to have a panel to determine the winner on this. So if you're listening tonight and you'd like to be entered in for this, you have to tell me the word or phrase in 2020. You ready? The word or phrase in 2020 that you are most tired of hearing. Okay. Now I'm going to take these answers. If you type them in the comments, the first person to get something typed in with that phrase, you're going to be the one that gets that phrase. And we're going to take these answers to a panel. Okay. To a panel. See, Bryan's typed in what he's tired of hearing the most. I'm going to take this into an unbiased panel. Nobody's names will be attached to the phrase, and we're going to get from the panel, okay? From the panel, we'll determine the winner. All right, Dottie has put in she submitted her phrase here. All right, see, and now Janice, I thought that was going to be the one that you would say, in these challenging times. And by the way, you have to say it like that. In these challenging times. In these challenging times. Anyway, so Bryan, Dottie, Janice, you guys are all entered. And so if you would like to enter in this, and if you're watching this on the replay, I'll go back and I'll check and see if we can get the time frame on this. But these are the only three we have entered right now. So I'll talk about this a little bit later on and remind everyone you'll get 2 or 3 days. Although you guys are already locked in, so if someone comes in a little bit later, they're going to have to go back and check, and we may even talk about some of the phrases or words that have been used in 2020, phrases or words in 2020, and we're near the halfway point in the year, by the way. Where were we quarantined? Oh, wow, that's interesting, Jack. We're near the halfway point of the year. By the way, we're actually now on the downside of the year when it comes to length of days. Did you know that? Passing summer solstice now. Longest day of the year. Logan, stay home. Yeah, I don't want to hear that one either. By the way, Bryan says new normal. Just in case you can't see the comments here. Bryan says new normal. Dottie says we're all in this together. Janice has in these challenging times. Jack with where were we quarantined? Jack, are you trying to get more than one comment on there? Senior 2020 t-shirts. All right, pick one and stick with it. You have a senior 2020. All right. Logan is stay home. If you're just tuning in now, we're going to be giving away an Opera House coffee gift card sponsored by Texoma Financial Services to the phrase that our panel decides is the one I think that they either like the most or all hate the most from 2020. It's going to be an unbiased panel, and your names will not be, they're not going to be with it. So it's going to be a blind guess there. Shut down, not a lockdown. Hey, that's a cool phrase. Come on now. That's my phrase. That's all right. I don't blame you. It is a shutdown, not a lockdown. I'll get it straight in a minute. That's okay. All right. I am glad that we passed the longest day in the year. As you get it. Oh, Jack's quote is from a t-shirt. Okay. You're tired of seeing that t-shirt? Is that the case? I like it when the days get shorter because it's one of those things that we know then that we're headed for football season. That's all I'm saying. And they've shifted around a lot of schedules. I've been doing a lot of writing in the last few days, football stories for my different sports sites, not only Oklahoma, but for some of the different states in the Midwest and the Southeast. And they've changed the schedules. Division II, and I don't know if you knew this or not, but NCAA Division II, which Southeastern Oklahoma State University is a member in the Great American Conference, they lowered the maximum number of games across the board for all sports. And so there will not be 11 football games this year. There will be 10 football games this year. And Southeastern's opening on the road, and then we'll be back home for the second weekend, which would be September 19th now. I don't like that. I don't like, and they're saying, well, because it's going to mean less travel now, and the sports have a tough budget as it is, and so this will help them with their budgets. Okay, that flies in everything but football, because in football, that's where you make money. That's where your athletic department for your university makes money. And to mean one less home game for half the teams anyway, that means one less game for them to make money for their university. And don't be fooled for a moment and think that those football games and the money that comes from that doesn't have a big part to play, not only in the athletic department, but in the university as well. I'm just saying. Anyway, all right. Brian, I have your name up there and absolutely, no, you put an emoji with it. I got it. I see. So you joined again. Okay. That's fine. That's all right. So anyway, if you're just tuning in, just to let you know, gift card for the word or phrase that you are tired of hearing in 2020. All right. Now, here is one, and I'm going to throw out some numbers here, and I just want to let you know some numbers. I've got this chart ready to be pulled up, and I want you to know this is not a political statement for one party or another. Okay? This is government as a whole. So everybody, if you're waiting and saying, all right, it's time for Joey hadn't been political in a while, and you're saying, and you've got your political panties, and you're about to get your political panties in a wad. I'm just telling you, put your political panties away and don't let them get in a wad. What I want to tell you is I want to look at some numbers. And this doesn't have to do anything. Stop hoarding the toilet paper. See, Michelle, I like that one. I'm not on the panel, but I like that one. I want to throw some numbers here. And I just want to let you know, folks, it's not about the virus. This is we're being conditioned by people on both sides of the political aisle, folks in government all the way around, and we're being conditioned. So let's look here really quickly. I clicked the wrong button. Let's look at this button really quickly and see if it will come up there. Where are you? There you are. You guys recognize this chart. I know. By the way, I know my viewership just went down because I said something, use the word political, whether or not I'm actually being political. Yeah, take your political panties and put them somewhere else. Don't let them get in a wad. All right, here you go. Here's this chart. May I show you something really quickly? These are the number of reported cases of the thing which shall not be named. Okay? Look, my goodness, in the last, I'm just going to pick 10 days. Okay? Here's 10 days. In the last 10 days, look at this. It's going off the chart. Oh, my goodness, it's getting so high. It's getting so, oh, man, the number of reported cases, it's so terrible. It is bad. And by the way, that's not good. I don't want anyone to get this thing. But we're testing a lot more. And so this number is going to be higher. Okay? Do you know why the number's higher? Because we're doing more testing. And it's showing what we all knew anyway, that more people have come in contact with the thing that shall not be named on YouTube than what they were reporting anyway. And we all knew this, and we've talked about it from the word go. So, oh my goodness, all these people now, all of them are contracting the thing which shall not be named. What you're not hearing is this number, which is going up also. Now, it's not going up at the same rate as this number yet. Do you know why? Because you have to give it 14 days before someone can be declared recovered. Here's your recovery. Still going up as well. Now, here we go. Watch this. Yeah. Karen needs to take her political panties and get off my yard. Can't believe I used the word panties tonight. Anyway, let's look down here. Because interestingly enough, this isn't really getting that much higher. Not really at that rate. Oh, this is hospitalizations. Have you noticed lately that you haven't been hearing about hospitalizations, people who are being hospitalized by this thing? You remember all this time we kept hearing, oh my goodness, our hospitals, they're going to be full. They're going to be overcrowded. We're going to shut down our hospitals. There's not going to be room. There aren't going to be beds. There's not going to be ICU rooms. There's not going to be ventilators. There's not going to be this, that, the other, doctors. There's not going to be enough. This number right here is jacked smooth up. This one isn't. But you haven't heard that. Let's go to the most important number of all. This one down here. This is deaths. I'd say we flattened the curve, except there never was a curve in Oklahoma. Not at all. So let's just take, while we're looking at it for just a moment, let's just take this and let's look at these numbers. And we're going to look at a 10-day span, because about 10 days ago is when this thing started going up really high. So 10 days. So let's go back down, and we're going to look at June 12th. June 12th. The number of total cases reported in Oklahoma was 7,848. And then it skyrocketed to 10,733, which is a difference of 2,885, an average of 288 new cases a day in Oklahoma. That's pretty high. Wow. We've been testing a lot. Let's look at this next number. Those who've recovered. Well, right here, June 12th, 10 days ago, 6,391. And that number in 10 days goes up to 7,648, a change of 1,257. Haven't heard that number. That's an average of 125.7 new recoveries a day. Are you hearing that? No, you're hearing the other number. Here's where the other number doesn't mean anything. But again, I'm giving you this, and I want to let you look through it because you need to study the numbers on your own. Okay? I'm just giving you all of the numbers here, not just one of them. Let's do all four numbers. Okay? Let me say that again. Not just one of them. Let's do all four numbers, and then you get to decide for yourself. June 12th. Hospitalized ever in the state of Oklahoma the whole year, if it had to do with the thing which shall not be named, on YouTube. 1,103 10 days ago. In the last 10 days, that number's risen to 1,268, an increase of 165. Now let's take the number of hospitalized and let's use it as a percentage of the number of people who have been confirmed cases. So that would be 165 of 2,885. 5.7% of the people who have been confirmed in the last 10 days have been hospitalized. Let me say that again. 5.7%, not died, have been hospitalized. Okay? Let's look at the most important number here. Deaths. On June 12th, the number of deaths was 359. 10 days later, the number of deaths was 369. That's an increase of 10. 10 deaths over a 10-day period is 1 per day. That increase from yesterday to today, by the way, was 0. No new deaths from yesterday to today. So we're averaging 1, which is not good, and we don't like that. Nobody likes that. And by the way, the number in Oklahoma now has risen to 80%. 80% of the deaths that have been attributed to the thing which shall not be named. I didn't say caused by, I said attributed to. 80% of the deaths that have been attributed to the thing which shall not be named had at least one comorbidity. So let's do the numbers, not one number, but all four numbers, not one number, just cases. Let's do all four numbers and talk about the recoveries, the hospitalizations, and the deaths. The number of deaths in the last 10 days was 10. The number of people who've been confirmed positive in the last 10 days was 2,885. 10 of 2,885 is 0.3%. 0.3%. That's your fatality rate. 0.3%. The flu has a higher rate. Not saying this is the flu. I'm saying that what we're hearing is just a little bit of the information, and then we're not allowed to make our own decisions on what's going on. This is a political thing. I'm not talking about the left. I'm not talking about the right. I'm talking about government right now. Again, I'm not talking about the left. I'm not talking about the right. Take your political pennies, put them in another part of the room right now, and listen. This is about conditioning. This is about us and how much will we take. I know. I probably have like 4 people watching now, and that's fine. No, it's double digits. Okay. Just you make the decision. I'm not going to decide for you, but I'm not going to give you just one number. I want you to see all 4 numbers, and you look at that chart again. Look at the chart there. Which way am I pointing? Look at the chart there that's to the right of me on the screen. And you watch that number in yellow down at the bottom. It does not go up at the rate of the other thing. We've been sold a bill of goods. And we need to understand that. So, anyway. All right. Hey, did you miss me? Just saying. Karen, get off my lawn. You're exactly right. The news talked about Florida with the beer bug taking over the ICU beds again. Guys, not only is it not happening in Oklahoma, it's not going to happen in Oklahoma. It's just not. We live in a different situation than some of these other states are anyway. There are 50 states. We're united. We are one country. We are one nation, if I may say, under God, and I will because it's my show. We are one nation under God. We are united as 50 states, but we are 50 states, and the 10th Amendment does still have application, and we don't have to be in some of the same situation that some of these other states in, and I feel sorry for a lot of the people who are living in the situation in the states in which they're living right now where they're still dealing with a lot of this, but Oklahoma's not. And we need to understand that when people start talking, well, we got to go. Who was it? Hang on. Who was it that said, oh, it was Jamie Templeton. Now let's get this back right here. Shut down, not a lockdown. Hope you meant that in good humor, Jamie. Anyway, we don't need shut down, not a lockdown again. Sorry. All these confirmed tests are confirming what you people knew already. That yes, there's a virus and it went around. And people got it. But you know what? We need to rub some dirt in it or something. Stay outside. Don't let your immune system become compromised. Jack, don't lick the plexiglass at the pet store. And none of the rest of us need to lick the handles and shopping carts at Walmart. Okay? But let's keep our immunity level up. Just understand. We're being sold a bill of goods. How much will we take? And that's what we're finding out right now, I guess. All right. Well, hope you didn't miss me that much. I'm back, but not meaning to try to throw out too much political stuff there. That's not left or right, guys. Seriously. No, seriously. That's not left or right. We need to be thinking. We just need to be thinking people. All right. So here we go. Your favorite phrase or your most hated phrase, the thing you're just so tired of hearing in 2020. And the winner will get a gift card to the Opera House Cafe. All right. And there we go. I think I have it all. Did I get everybody in tonight? Melissa, thanks for watching tonight. John, Jackie, Carner. Oh my goodness, Jackie, if you're still watching, how you doing? Anyway, Amy, glad you stopped by for a little while tonight. Rana. Oh, Rana. If you're still watching, I'm definitely going to stop by. I planned on seeing you tomorrow. Cool. Absolutely cool things I want to share with you. All right. Anybody else? Anybody stop in tonight? Jeff. All right. Thank you for all the support given the rodeo these past few weeks. Not a problem, Jeff. Not a problem. It sure was good to see you out there. And you guys do a fantastic job. Fantastic job. All right. Tomorrow night, we'll be back on the air. No, you can only pick one, Jamie. You can only pick one. Tell me which one you're picking. And you can only pick one. I will tell you, though, one that's at the top of my list, I'll tell you what, when this year is over with, and if I ever hear the phrase social distancing again, way too soon. Anytime, ever. If I never hear it again, I'll be fine with that. All right. Hey, Ronna, tomorrow, Tomorrow. All right. Anyway, God bless you all. I think I hit everything tonight. Got through the cards, sponsors, everybody, everything. You know what? You guys are great. You're absolutely fantastic. I got to see a couple of folks. I saw Rhonda at the rodeo on Saturday night, and it was nice to see her and got to see some other folks there. I really did appreciate getting to see you guys there. So, man, looking forward to the next one. We may even talk some Caddo rodeo, and we will have the results, the winners on the Patriot, if not tonight, first thing in the morning, and go from there. Amy, 6 feet, man. Did you know, by the way, I missed talking to you. The little Patriots and I were out walking the dogs one night. It was already dark. And so I've got 3 little children out with me. Well, they're not that little, but you can tell we're a family unit. Okay? You can tell we're a family unit, and I'm holding a leash with a dog. And somebody drove around, this woman drove around a little too fast on our city street, I thought, turned the corner, rolled down the window, and screamed at us, 6 feet, Corona! And yelled at us, and I think she told us we were number 1 too. I'm not sure. But anyway, the kids were like, what? You know, it's going, anyway. Yeah, it was Karen. That's who it was. She knew I was coming after her. Yeah, Amy, I think that's one of those things too. I'll be just as happy to not hear that anymore. Just as happy. I promise. All right. You guys are fantastic. And I know what I told you earlier, and I was talking about the fact that, look, there's a lot of stuff going on the government level. We need to keep our eyes and ears open. There's going to come a time where we're going to have to say no. And I want you, though, in all these numbers, here's what you need to know. Be wise. Look at, and I showed you 4 numbers tonight, not just one. Be wise. Number 2, use discretion. There are going to be things that are going to be up to you to make good decisions on. It's going to be at your discretion. Use that discretion and make a wise decision. And number 3, which should always be number 1, do not walk in fear. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't walk in fear. All right? God bless you all. We'll do this again tomorrow night, and have a great one. Talk to you later.